While Governor Weatherby Swan and his 12-year-old daughter, Elizabeth, are sailing to Port Royal, Jamaica, their ship, HMS Dauntless, finds a shipwreck with a single survivor, the young Will Turner, drifting among the wreckage. Elizabeth discovers and conceals a gold medallion she discovers around the comatose Wood's neck, worried he would be charged with piracy. Then she sees a ghostly pirate ship, the Black Pearl, vanish into the mist. Captain James Norrington of the British Royal Navy is promoted to Commodore 8 years later. He proposes to Elizabeth during his ceremony. Her over-tightened corset causes her to swoon and slide off the rampart, crashing into the bay, before she can respond. The medallion she wears sends a strange pulse through the water. Meanwhile, Captain Jack Sparrow, a pirate, has arrived in Port Royal to seize a ship. When he sees Elizabeth fall, he saves her, but Norrington recognizes him as the famed pirate and arrests him. He flees and enters a blacksmith shop, where he meets Will Turner, a self-taught excellent swordsman and blacksmith's apprentice. Sparrow is knocked unconscious and incarcerated after a sword battle with Turner, and is scheduled to be hanged the next day. That night, the Pearl besieges Port Royal in response to the mysterious summons of the medallion. Elizabeth is apprehended and invokes parley, a pact that guarantees one's safety until meeting and negotiating with the opposing side. Elizabeth, not wanting to divulge that she is the governor's daughter, tells Captain Barbossa that her surname is Turner. In exchange for the medallion, she bargains with the pirates to stop the attack on Port Royal. Barbossa agrees, but uses a loophole in their pact to keep Elizabeth imprisoned, believing she is the key to releasing an ancient curse. When Commodore Norrington refuses to take urgent action, Will convinces Captain Jack Sparrow to assist him in rescuing Elizabeth in exchange for his release from prison. Only after knowing Will's surname is Turner does Jack acquiesce. After seizing the HMS Interceptor, Jack and Will recruit a crew in Tortuga with the assistance of Jack's old acquaintance, Gibbs, a former Royal Navy boatswain. They set sail for Isla de Muerta, a secret island where Jack believes the pirates will go to break the curse. Will learns about Jack's past while on the road. He used to be the captain of the Pearl, but after revealing the location of a hidden trove of Aztec gold pieces, First Mate Barbossa orchestrated a mutiny and marooned Jack on an island. 3 days later, Jack fled. The pirates discovered and spent the riches, but they soon discovered it was cursed, and it had transformed them into near-immortal skeletal beings whose true forms are visible only in moonlight. The curse can be broken only when every penny and drop of pirate blood is returned to the chest. Jack's sole backer, William Bootstrap Bill Turner, sent a coin to his son, Will, believing the crew should be cursed for what they did to Jack. Bootstrap was bound to a cannon and thrown overboard by Barbossa, only to discover later that his blood is also required to cure the curse. A Turner cousin must now take his place. Barbossa, assuming Elizabeth is Bootstrap's child, anoints the last coin with her blood and places it into the chest on Isla de Muerta. Unexpectedly, the curse remains unbroken. When Will arrives on the island, he suspects Sparrow of betraying him and knocks him out. He saves Elizabeth, and the two flee to the Interceptor. In exchange for the Pearl, Jack bargains with Barbossa, stating that he will expose Bootstrap's true child. However, Jack's discussions fail when the Pearl chases the Interceptor, sinking her and kidnapping the crew. Will admits that he is Bootstrap Bill's son and asks that Elizabeth and the crew be released or he will kill himself and drown. Barbossa agrees, but uses another loophole to imprison Elizabeth and Jack on a deserted island, the same island Jack was on 10 years ago, and throws Jack's men into the brig. Will is transported to Isla de Muerta for the ceremony. Elizabeth discovers the truth about Jack's escape from the island while on the island. The island where Jack was imprisoned was utilized as a hideout by rum smugglers, who are now out of business. Elizabeth sets fire to an abandoned rum stockpile to make a signal fire, which Norrington notices. She persuades Norrington to save Will by accepting his previous marriage proposal. When Norrington returns to Isla de Muerta, he prepares an ambush outside the cave, while Jack goes inside and convinces Barbossa to establish an alliance. He tells him to wait until they have stolen the Dauntless and slain the crew before breaking the curse. Jack then takes a coin from the chest and becomes immortal. Whatever Jack's true intention is, his scheme is thwarted when Barbossa orders his crew to infiltrate the Dauntless from below. Elizabeth infiltrates the Pearl, freeing Jack's crew and annihilating the 2 pirates that defend it. She tries to enlist the crew's assistance, but they reject and flee with the Pearl, leaving Elizabeth to assist Will on the island. Elizabeth saves Will, and the 3 cursed pirate guards are destroyed together, while Jack, immortal, reveals his true loyalties and battles Barbossa. Will returns the last 2 medallions to the chest, adding his own blood to Jack's and thereby removing the curse. Jack then uses the shot he had been saving for 10 years to shoot Barbossa in the heart. The injured Barbossa dies, no longer immortal. The now mortal pirates surrender to the Navy after realizing they are no longer cursed. Jack is set to be executed in Port Royal. Will saves Jack because he believes he deserves to live. Both are swiftly apprehended, but Elizabeth offers her assistance and proclaims her love for Will. Will is granted yet another pardon, having already been cleared of stealing the interceptor, and is permitted to marry Elizabeth with Norrington and Governor Swan's consent. Jack flees the fort by dropping into the bay. His crew, who fled with the Pearl, saves him and appoints him captain. Norrington is impressed enough to give him a day's head start before pursuing him.